Everybody, thank you for joining me and welcome to my channel. This is your pick a card channel for the truth about your situation. It's a Celtic cross and I'm going to go through the different options pretty fast. You have three different choices, number 1, number 2, and number 3, and we're going to take a look at them right now. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make the energy real. And I'm glad to be back, and there are other videos also for you guys linked in the description. This is a timeless reading. Okay, so first we start with Rider-Waite, the major decks. If you chose number 1, this is your message, the truth about your situation. Okay, so your first message is, the truth is, this is the core energy of your reading, which is there's an improvement in your current circumstances. Things are improving, things are getting better, you are achieving things, you're going somewhere in your life, and so it should be feeling quite good for you now. I have a feeling, and this is a download, that maybe some of the things that you're experiencing are that you don't see the goodness in the situation, but don't worry, it's there. It's just a matter of time before you see it. Here is the next message. We have the Justice card. Something has turned in your favor, especially regarding something that was unfair in the past. I feel as though the truth has been clarified. And so now that the truth has been clarified, you are free to move ahead. You have been experiencing a lot of barriers to progress. And so this clarity is actually alleviating a lot of those barriers. Things that were outside of your control were stopping your progress forward. At the top of the deck, we have the 7 of Cups. I feel as though you're not seeing your situation very clearly right now. Maybe what's happening is that because in the past there have been some barriers and some challenges for you, you don't see exactly the potential of where you are going, or you may still be thinking that something bad is going to happen, especially if you have been in some way in a long period of negativity or long period of struggle. Below the surface, you have the 9 of Pentacles. And so we have, this is Venus in Virgo. And so what you have is a lot more than you give yourself credit for. I think that you're psyching yourself out a little bit, or you're getting worried about circumstances and situations. I think that there's things coming in for you that are going to be very, very positive. And I think that you're almost like not seeing the value of who you are, or maybe you're not seeing how good of a situation you really have overall. Maybe one thing had been really out of place. I have a feeling some of you had been in a relationship, and so the feelings from that relationship made you feel like, wow, okay, nothing else is good because this relationship is not good. So some of you are coming out from a relationship with something that wasn't very positive. It could have been a friendship or something else, where you kind of believed that the world was kind of worse than it was because the relationship wasn't working for you. And so I think that you're still influenced by that thinking. Or maybe your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, friend was actually someone who had beliefs about others that you don't align with, or you didn't believe. Maybe they were racist or bigoted towards others for their sexual orientation or something else. They had beliefs that kind of influenced you for a while, and now you're getting back to yourself and you're feeling again the true feelings, the feelings that you have about things and the things that you believe to be true about your life. In the past, we had the 6 of Rods, so there was definitely a victory. This could have been a breakup, but that would have been a victory. So basically, you could have broken up with someone, and that was the step that you needed to take towards success. That was the step that you needed to take regarding things that were holding you back. And I think you have taken it. So if you're in a relationship now, don't worry. This isn't about good relationships breaking down, or even relationships that are struggling. Relationships that are meant to be together will be together. But in the past, here we have this influence of really standing up for yourself and moving through a negative situation to a positive outcome, and then really having a lot of things to rely on, build from, in order to get to the next leg of your journey. I have a download for you guys. Basically, I feel like maybe time has been stagnant for a while. You had been going over things. Things have been moving so very slowly for you for some time now. And I think that you've gotten used to that, so much so that you don't believe that maybe where you are going will be fundamentally different. I have a feeling that what is coming is fundamentally different and is going to happen for you very, very quickly before you even can recognize it. So I feel like you're used to the same old, same old, same old, but life is about to change for you very quickly. Here is the next message. We have the Four of Swords. I think that this is reminding us that to take a break and to go slow. I think that it's very important for you to, in some way, recognize that some of the things that you believe about your circumstances are actually not in line with, they're not in line with the truth of the situation. It's almost like your vision is somehow influenced by your recent experiences, and so what you need is a certain degree of rest to be able to absorb the positive energy that's coming up. It's almost like the positive energy is trying to catch up with you, and so there's no reason for you to try to work things out or work things through at this time. The best use of your time is to rest and allow everything to come in. You've already succeeded. You've already won at the thing that you were trying to achieve. The next message is the Knight of Swords. So this is you. So you're constantly on the go, running, 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 going forward, going forward, going forward towards an outcome. So constantly trying to, in some way, move towards something or achieve something, or to move forward to achieve something, to gain progress. That's what I was trying to figure out. So I feel like you're constantly feeling like you have to achieve something to get there, to get going, to get in the direction that you're going. But I think that what this is actually saying is that you don't have to work so hard. I think you're overworking yourself, and possibly you have already achieved the victory that you're seeking now. And so your energy now is futile to try to achieve it because it's already happened, right? Around you, we have the Four of Pentacles. So you're in an environment that's not forthcoming. I have a feeling that the people that you reach out to are not reaching out to you either. They're not reaching out to you. They're not reciprocating. I really feel that this is something that's disheartened you in the past, where you turned to others, and in a pattern, they always said no. It wasn't easy to get help from others. People found excuses, found whatever kind of justification to move away from being there for you. People who should have been for you there weren't really in the past. And so I think that you have a nervousness that you feel towards the people around you, because in some way you are feeling like that's going to perpetuate, or that's going to continue from the past. And in some way you're sort of like, it's a mild form of trauma, not the mental health issue, but the issue in which we get a little spooked by life, and you feel like maybe once again or time and again you are going to experience delays in your life because the people who should be there will not be there for you. So in some way you're seeing that around you, you're nervous about it. But I do have a feeling that in time you're going to learn that you're moving past something that was very negative, that made you feel as though this was a staple in your life, but it's not. There are people that are going to give towards you, and in some way this is challenging you to open up to others, saying that maybe in some way you're shutting other people out. Here is your hopes. So we have the Queen of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. That's really sweet. What this is suggesting is that you really want to be open with people. You really want to love. You want a deep connection with others. You really want everything to be harmonious around you. You want that openness and that generosity of spirit. So I feel like that's where you're going. I feel like that's what you're going to achieve. Like very balanced relationships, openness, trust, friendship, kindness, all of these beautiful energies are around you at this time. And I feel like that's where you're going anyway, except you feel a little bit nervous about getting there. You feel nervous about your ability there. Maybe you're not seeing everything in your situation for what it truly is. And I think you're spinning your wheels around a little bit. You're nervous. It's almost like you're waiting for your first kiss. I remember waiting for my first kiss and, practicing on my hand, that kind of thing. And many people do, or whatever it is. So It's going to come just like your first kiss happened. And it's going to come, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, wherever it is that you're trying to get to is coming for sure. It definitely is. And I think that maybe the only advice here is to like not expand so much energy into trying to make it happen because it's already on the way, and maybe a better use of your time is resting a little bit. That doesn't necessarily mean sleeping. It could mean just having fun or directing your attention into some kind of recreational activity, something that helps you unwind. So you guys want to know what the outcome is? Let's see. So we have the Two of Rods. So you're still going to be waiting for some time here. That's okay. I feel like this is a larger life message in which some things that are coming to you. I think that you're in a period of adjustment where you're adjusting your expectations and learning to take the pressure off of yourself a little bit. I feel as though with your environment, you really need to kind of chip away at your relationships with others, making sure that you're not withholding from others and others are not withholding from you. If you come upon someone who is withholding emotionally from you, financially, whatever, that's not because of the past. It's just a bad occurrence that reminds you of the past. That's a message for someone, and I hope it helps. Overall, your life is improving and fairness and order are coming into your life. You just have to wait a little bit more for everything to come in. So this is a message of patience and success. You're very, very successful, but message of patience and success, and take a little bit of rest through this time. This is a timeless reading, so I'm not sure when you're watching this, but I hope this helps. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make the energy real. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. Bye. Okay, so now we're going to do number 2, and I'm excited. I hope you enjoyed this. You can, of course, choose one of the other options if you don't like the one that you chose, or if something's not vibing for you, choose another one. Here is the next message. You have for number 2, the Knight of Discs, a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. This most likely represents you. So this represents that you are in some way going towards some kind of goal. You're very, very focused. Some of you may be in school or starting off some large project and really focusing on where things are going to go. I feel as though there's sacrifice in your life that has to do with the direction that you're going and the things you're trying to achieve. You're sacrificing, social activities or social contact for the purpose of achieving some goal and going in some direction. The next message is the Knight of Cups. By the way, in this deck, this is the Thoth Tarot. These both of these knights represent kings. So in this deck, it's a prince and a knight instead of a knight and a king. So we have the Knight of Cups, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, secondary transits in water as well. In fire, Sag, Leo, or Aries. So this could be like the moon in Aries, something like that. I have a feeling as though there's 2 energies that are pushing at you. There's a practical energy in which you are achieving big things. You have big things on the horizon that you're trying to achieve. And then there's the emotional side that sort of is actually slowing you down. Maybe you want a relationship and you're holding back on the rest of your life. Or maybe you have a relationship that's just bogging you down emotionally. And so you need to figure out which direction you want to go. And you need to sort of maybe not choose one, but emphasize one, because I think at this time they're too level with each other, and there's a conflict of interest. There's an overlap to do with your practical life. That means like school or work or anything to do with finances, maybe your physical body, the things you're trying to achieve. And on the emotional front, that's coming into conflict with it. Because of the way the cards came out, for many of you, this is going to be the right path. But if you feel like in your heart the emotion or the relationship is the primary thing that you should focus on, then that's probably what it is. At the top, we have the Emperor. So this is a big relationship reading. This is ruled by Aries, this card. So what this represents is that maybe you have big goals on marriage, or maybe you have big goals for your family, big goals for your children. Maybe you really want to get married. Maybe you want to buy a house. Maybe you have goals for business. This is a time in your life when you're building a lot, when you're trying to build up your life and succeed and apply yourself. Here is the next message. We have the Temperance card. This is the card of Libra and balance. I feel as though some things had shifted for you. It's like your life almost changed. Maybe not overnight, but your life did change. I have a feeling that maybe you were more impoverished in the past than you are now, or maybe you had gone through significant setbacks in the past, and now through a period of the last several years or months, there was an adjustment, there was movement forward, transformation in your life, in which you were actually able to achieve some kind of leverage. You were able to achieve something. But you have this dark past. You have this dark past that you're worried about. It's either to do with social issues that never allowed you to move past certain things, created barriers for you, maybe financial issues, family issues. There's like a secret in the past that really held you back from who you were supposed to become. And now in the present moment, you are becoming those things that you've always wanted to become, but you still have all the baggage from the past situations. And it's sort of spooking you, I think. I think you're a little bit afraid, and I think you're turning to people and situations that are highly emotive, emotional, and so they sort of confuse your emotions. They make you feel as though you're really living. It's like an emotional high. But in fact, I think that what it's doing for many of you is that it's confusing your goals and your aspirations. And you really have a clear karmic card here. So in some way, your karma's been cleared for the time being, and you have this clear path forward. So you're sort of psyching yourself out and then choosing relationships and situations with people who emotionally bog you down and really hold you back from your progress or the things that you could be achieving, the things you've wanted to achieve for such a long time, maybe even things that you felt that you had barriers towards achieving in the past. In the past we have, yep, this is my favorite card in tarot, the Aeon, specifically this card. I'll show you guys up close if you want to see it. But so this is the Aeon, the last judgment, ruled by Pluto. Like I said, you had this big moment of catharsis. You broke free, you broke away from the static past, and now you're moving forward towards something. But it's almost like Stockholm syndrome, you know, this is like trauma bonding. This is the psychoanalytic talk for it, or the name for it. But that's when a person is in a stress state and bonds to another person, even the person who's hurting them, in order to maintain some level of normalcy in their mind. And so sometimes we get addicted to these kinds of states, where we get addicted to negative states of thinking, being, circumstances. And in some way, I feel as though maybe you're perpetuating, out of fear and familiarity of the past, you're turning towards people that are overloading you emotionally, really drowning you down emotionally. And I feel like that's the thing that's stopping you from this progress that's all around you now. So it's like the wrong behavior for the current circumstances. You're still choosing the behaviors that you survived with in the past by choosing certain types of people and circumstances. But this is the new path forward. You had been given a miracle. You had been given an opportunity to break away from the past and really go in a new direction. So it's really important to take that responsibility or accountability on your shoulders and see that as an opportunity. Here is the next card. We have the Knight of Wands. So this is another, I think, challenge to where you're going, because this requires a lot of stability, this King of Pentacles. So we have the Prince of Wands, Sag, Leo, or Aries. Another person's going to come through it's going to be like a spook. It's going to in some way intimidate you for whatever purpose. This person could come and go really fast. You could think that this person is around for a while, but they leave really quick, and you're like, what happened? You start questioning yourself. I think that this is a stressor. It's a test to see if you go back to this energy. It's a test to see if you turn back to the things that are emotionally comforting, but maybe not healthy for you, right? So you're getting a little bit of a testing ground, and really do think of it as a test. When you go past it, when you succeed past it, and you will, then you'll see, and it'll help to put this in perspective. You'll really understand why going back to those relationships of the past is really holding you back at this time. And you'll see all your opportunities, all the opportunities the Aeon is giving you. Here is you. Oh man, this is getting exciting. So you guys have the Ace of Cups. You have a new relationship, new lease on life. For sure, you have new breakthrough, new opportunities. You really have a good way forward, and it's up to you to take advantage of it. Around you, wow, you're getting awesome cards. You have the Star, which is the card of Aquarius, and this is the Destiny card. This is the environment around you. This could mean that there's a lot of Aquarian people around you at this time, but it can also mean that there is a lot of very fortuitous or destined interactions that you're meant to have with others at this time. Go out and reach out to people. You can't do no wrong. Every single path leads you in some kind of direction. Every path leads you towards success. And so you should go out and challenge yourself. I feel as though if you're trying to figure out how to break this cycle, if something reminds you of the past, and I think this Prince of Wands and this King of Cups will, if something really reminds you of the past, you know that it's dealing with the circumstances before the Aeon, and this isn't the time to kind of rehash things. You have an empire to build, you have new relationships, you have a clear karma, you have a good environment, so you want to actually look out and reach forward to new relationships, new opportunities that are coming up for you, and they're going to be coming really fast because it looks like there's a lot of energy around you that is going to bring in a lot of opportunities. Not all those opportunities will be perfect. However, many of them will be exciting and wonderful. And maybe in there is your golden needle in the haystack thing. Here is your hopes. We have the Three of Wands. So you're hoping that your time is coming. You're hoping that you're going to come into your own, that you're going to succeed, and that you're going to move forward in the way that you hope. And that is your pure hope. And I feel as though this is why this is you, most likely, this King of Pentacles. This is why you're so focused and deliberating on the future, because you had been held back before this card. So if we did another spread this way, it would have shown up. But yeah, so in the past there was a lot of barriers to success, and so I feel as though the Three of Wands is just signaling your desire for wanting to be successful, for achieving things. I feel as though this person's going to confuse things. They're going to be a fast talker, breeze through, make promises, not follow up. Don't get emotionally bogged down by this energy. The less time that you spend on these energies, these people, the more you'll have time on building your empire, or maybe spending time with an earth sign who wants to build an empire with you. The outcome, number 2, let's see. We have the Two of Rods. It's called the Dominion card in this deck. Vision, perspective. Vision, perspective. I feel like you'll understand what you need to do to move forward. This is a process of awakening and learning and figuring out what you need to do to achieve the things you want. And I think that you should minimize distractions, empty noise, things you don't need to be listening. Those things are beneath you. You don't need them. End of story. Have a nice day. Make sure to like and comment and subscribe to make the energy real. Choose one of the other options, number 1 and 3, if you don't like this one, but I think this is pretty good, so I suggest you keep it. Thanks for watching. Bye. Okay, so number 3. Hi guys. I'm excited to be here. We're going to take a look at the truth in your situation. The first 2 readings were very, very intense, and I'm not going to tell you the spoiler, but there's something special about both of them. Let me know in the comments section if you can figure out what it is. So here are the cards. I almost shuffled. Thank goodness I didn't. Here is your first card. This is the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. This is the new republished edition. As you can see, it's satin, it's beautiful, and you'll in a moment see that it's borderless. So here is your first card. So number 3, this is the Three of Water. Remember, these cards are a little bit different than your standard tarot cards, but I'm so excited to have them. So we have a reunion, seeking something from the past. I feel as though you're healed so much to such an extent that you're willing to open up and consider a conversation with someone, open up to someone. You're willing to let someone in. Here is the next message. This is the crossing energy, 5 of Swords. I feel as though in this situation you had missed out on something. I feel like in this situation, you didn't get what you want. The situation in the past, you didn't get what you want. And so it's kind of brave of you to look to the past and say, there's something else that I need from this. There's something else that I'm willing to face and prepare myself for, to confront this in the situation in which I may not win everything. I may not get everything I want, but I'm still willing to consider. I still need to learn from this. So you're taking a brave step to take a look at the past in some way. At the top, you have the 11 of water. So this is kind of similar to a page of cups. So this signals a new relationship that you are hoping for. So I feel as though maybe you're looking to the past so that you can really prepare for this new energy. This could be a person, a water sign, possibly Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. But a new relationship, that's more of where you're trying to go, where your mental state is. And so you're looking to the past, and there's a situation in the past in which you didn't get something you wanted. If it's in a romantic relationship, maybe you thought you'd get married and it didn't work out. And so you're reconsidering talking to your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. And even though you know that it's still going to be what it is, maybe you're still getting ready to face it, or maybe in some way find a conclusion to it, a closure for it, so that you can really open up in this new direction. And if you're wondering, if you're single and you've gone through a breakup, then the next person very likely is a water sign. But in the past, I feel like for some of you this is romantic, for some of you this is something else, and I have a feeling that it's something that's intimidating to you. It's not something that's easy for you to look at. It's not something that's like, oh, okay, I'll go talk to this person, or it's something that is intimidating, that's hard to look at. It was something hard in the past, that to this day feels to you as though you had missed out on something. Below the surface is the Two of Cups. Now we're rolling. So, of course, this is the love card in all decks. So we have the Two of Cups. I feel as though you're ready to give. I have a feeling that your love was kind of stolen. I feel like you had love to give to something that turned out to be a dead end, or something that wasn't worth your time. And you had started to doubt maybe your own ability to love. And then finally you came to terms with the fact that you do have all that love inside of you. And with that knowledge, no longer believing that you're without love, you're ready to confront this again. And maybe I do have a feeling that you really want closure in a situation, and there's something else that you need from that situation. You need to say something, have a conversation about something, or maybe you just need to get your car back. I mean, it could be all sorts of different examples, but you're willing to go and connect with that energy so that you can find closure with it and put it really to rest. And I think that over top of you, there's all this love energy, all this water energy that's bringing you all these. There's such a high probability of love in your life at this time, and you're so receptive, you're so in that water energy, in your emotions and those kinds of things. You're so ready for love at this time. And I feel like the only step that's stopping you is to find closure in a situation that's making you doubt, that's infusing your mind with all this doubt. So the Eight of Cups. So for some of you, this actually can mean that you were ghosted, or that you had been betrayed by someone you had trusted. This is someone who had walked away from you, someone who looks really, really good on the surface. But imagine this man, he's standing there with all his chakras lit up, open up like this. But that's all it is. Imagine if there's a lot of people like this, right? So this person is sort of just standing there, his chakras open. He looks so good. He looks like a snack. But then beyond that, maybe there was nothing there for you. Maybe it was just a front. Maybe it was just superficial. And maybe you and them didn't have that connection, right? Maybe you and them didn't have that connection. And so it made you worried because you felt like you should have had that connection with that person. And in some way, you're looking back to the past at this time with all this love. You're looking back to the past with all this compassion and love, but it's no longer for that situation. It's to accept the fact that you thought wrongly about this situation because you internalized the way this person treated you, whether they walked away from you, cold-shouldered you, only gave you a superficial experience when you knew that you could have had a much deeper experience with them. They in some way iced you out, right? They in some way held you out. But I think at this time you're coming to realize that that's not a reflection of your love. That's a reflection of their experience, and you just happen to come upon a bad individual. So you're in some way confronting all your thoughts about, how things were and the way things truly are. In tarot cards in general, whenever there's a woman who's like, fate is blind, there's the saying, but there's a lot of tropes with a woman who's sort of blindfolded, and it's like you never really know where your future brings, and anything that has dragonflies on it, it symbols that whatever is coming is going to be prosperous, and you can see it all over this. So I think that you were like in love with someone, or you liked someone who you esteemed beyond their value. So you thought them to be more valuable than they truly are, especially maybe not judging them, but who they are to you. Like you were judging them for who they are to be so great, but because of that, you were sort of putting yourself down. And whatever was motivating this, you're going to find your way through it. And I feel like now you're coming to realize that that's them, that's their stuff that they didn't recognize, and you were sort of perpetuating the belief or allowing for that to continue just because that's where your head was at, and it wasn't necessarily a reflection of your ability to love. So it really sounds like you got hung up on something or someone who you shouldn't have been hung up on, and now you're bravely looking forward in order to move away from that energy. And it really feels the Eight of Cups is a lot about, walking away. Somebody may have walked away from you, like I said, ghosted. Three of Air. Wow, this is a powerful card. Okay, so I feel as though, again, I said you're taking a look at the situation. I've already sort of explained this part, so it's the same thing. It's bravery. Taking a look at your past, maybe with a counselor, maybe by yourself. You may not be actually reconnecting with this person. You might be just thinking about them and thinking about which direction you want to go. Now with a sober mind, not that you were drinking or something, but emotionally you weren't sober before. Now you're sober. You're taking a look at this situation and you're really understanding it for what it is, and that's empowering you to move forward in a direction that will have love and will allow you to express love in the way that is appropriate for you. You in this situation have the 17 card. There's a big journey. This is called the journey card, I believe, in this deck. One of the things about this deck is that the name of the cards isn't on it, but I don't mind. You'll get used to it as well. I really recommend this deck. But you have the 17, which is sometimes called the star card, but in this deck it's not. And so you have a journey ahead of you, and so it's up to you how much you confront. This is a karmic question. Whatever you're ready for, if you're ready to confront the whole situation, put it away forever, for all of eternity, all future lives, parallel lives, then do it. But for some of you, this is just going to be a little bit. You'll understand a little bit more about your relationship, so you prepare yourself for the next relationship ahead. Around you, Two of Fire. This is a key card for this reading. Around you, there's people who are giving you multiple opinions or perspectives, and so there's this influence on you constantly. Maybe you have two different friends who give you two different pieces of advice. And so I feel like that's something that's confusing you, but it's not necessarily that they're bad friends or it's a bad environment. You'll just notice that there's around you people saying, yes, do it, contact them. No, don't do it. Don't go back, So you'll hear both, and I think the goal is kind of looking at the facts. That's what the book represents for me. Looking at the past, at the facts of the past, and really with a sober mind, deciding which direction you want to go. What your hopes are in this situation is, this is the Death card, the number 8 card in this deck. So you want regeneration. You're ready. I feel as though this has been a stagnant period in your life for a while, and you really, really want that regeneration. You're willing to do anything, including looking at the past in order to be healthy. To me, she looks so healthy. She's just letting go of all the chains that bind her, and she's dancing her way towards looking at the past, and by looking at the past she's allowing herself to move forward. So she looks very, very, how do you say, healthy, or with a peace of mind. She's content, and she's brave. She's feeling brave because the things that intimidated her in the past are things that she's willing to take a look at and confront now. The outcome card for number 3 is, so we have this card, it's number 9, which is knowledge. So you are going to understand this situation. You're going to become a master of this situation that you have experienced. And I feel like that's a part of your journey. Remember, in this card here, you can see the night and the day, right? So he's choosing between two different options. He's choosing two different options, two different directions. And I feel as though he's choosing two different options, two different directions, but the outcome is knowledge. The outcome is becoming empowered by knowledge. So when you have like a phobia of something, if you're afraid of something, or if you're worried about something, when you learn the facts and you define it, then it's not so scary after all. So like, for example, if you have a arachnophobia, fear of spiders, if you really learn a lot about spiders, maybe you'll find out that those spiders are not that scary, and they're actually quite industrious and important for all of us in our ecosystems. And with that kind of knowledge, you'll know exactly what to do about the past circumstances. So I think that, you know, it's a lot of work, but I think it's the necessary work to begin your new journey in a new direction. And I think that maybe listening to your environment is not to your advantage. Not that they're not well-meaning, but I feel as though they're looking at your situation from too many different angles, and that will very likely confuse you. So it's more about take a look at the facts, make some judgments, the love is in your heart, and make some decisions about the past. Whatever they may be, you will make those decisions from an empowered place, okay? So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to make the energy real. If you don't like this reading, choose one or two. They're both really good readings, and I hope that you enjoyed this one as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know how you like the faster format. I had fun filming it for you guys, and we'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.